All right, everyone. I just took a drink of water. Sorry about that. Welcome once again to the Faces of Business. I'm your host, Damon Pistolka, and I am so jacked. Excuse me. With me today, I've got Brian Burke from Sell Your Mac. Brian, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me, Damon. Glad to be here and represent Brian the Mac Man, talk to your audience, and hopefully share some story and good tidbits they can learn from.
I think it's going to be awesome, dude. You know, like we said when we were talking before this, I've heard you on with Ira Bowman and Joseph Stepke before, and it was just a hoot watching you guys. And then as we started talking about having you on here, because of your business and what you're doing and stuff like that, I realized a lot of other cool stuff that maybe even want to talk with you more, which is just awesome. And I think it shows two things. It's the power of LinkedIn and the networking and how that can really allow you to meet interesting and quite honestly, just cool and fun people. And then how, as we're going to talk about today, how entrepreneurship can really empower you to make positive change in the world.
And that was one of my biggest goals. I always wanted to give back as I've been growing this company. So I've been, handing out Macs, from the beginning, just couldn't do quite as much back then, and been fortunate enough to grow it over time. Yeah. And now we're giving out Macs very frequently.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. So first of all, let's back up a ways and let's talk about your background, because how the heck do you get into a business where you're going to be buying and selling Mac products?
Well, I wasn't born with entrepreneurial blood, but I developed it pretty early. I was doing sales on the sidewalk by age 10 and doing a lot of arbitrage sales in high school. I always had a knack for that. Love stock trading. I've been buying, selling tech stocks since I was a teenager.
All right.
And in college, I started buying and selling a lot of my friends' cell phones. Everyone was too lazy to sell them on their own when they were upgrading. And I had a lot of experience doing eBay. So I used that as my channel. And I was going around the frats and the sororities that I knew and collecting their phones on a monthly basis. And I made a little business out of it to make some side income during college.
Yeah.
So after college, I just basically started an eBay company buying Apple products and technology, cell phones, everything. And I quickly kind of pivoted to focus on Apple. That's my true passion. So yeah, I've been doing all Apple since about 2008 when the iPhone launched.
Wow. So I didn't even realize this until we started talking. So you've been on eBay a long time. Is that one of your main sales channels right now?
It still is. Unbelievable. We're able to sell so many Apple products on eBay.
That's freaking awesome, dude. Because this is why I love having these conversations, because a lot of my work is in e-commerce, and obviously eBay is that too. And it's just interesting how it intertwines with so many businesses. So when you're doing this, so you started out. Let's back up first of all, because you said in high school you were doing arbitrage. So what were you buying and reselling in high school? I always think of that. That's kind of
a lot of car parts. And a lot of times I didn't touch them. I would buy them online and just blind ship them to someone on a forum, and I would sell them to.
Really? Because that's it's so interesting, because I'm a bit older than you, and those kind of opportunities were not really there for us at my age. And it's interesting. My son's got friends. My son's got friends that he was a big car buff in high school, and he would do the same thing. He would buy car parts that he knew were for certain kinds of Subarus, and he would buy them, refurbish them, and resell them. And he paid for a lot of his college doing that.
Nice little healthy business there.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
One thing I want to tell people is you got to be passionate about it. I loved Audi cars at the time, so that's why I picked it, and I knew about it. And the reason I've been, done well and been successful in my current business is I'm so passionate about Apple that I'm learning and reading about it every day, so I can be able to be knowledgeable about it and, learn why I should be doing certain things or not.
Yeah. Because for people that don't know, I mean, you've bought over $44 million worth of Apple products, and you're in the top 1% in your industry of Apple product resellers, correct?
Yeah, definitely are. We're definitely one of the top in the world.
Yeah.
We're certainly number one when it comes to service and support. If you look at any of their ratings, we do rank number one in the world, so we say that we're the most trusted Apple trade-in partner.
Awesome, dude. That's great. And like you said,
shout out to my team for that at Cellular Mac.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not a one person deal, but
no.
It starts with your passion about when you look at what you were doing back early in your, you said from age 10 on, doing that and learning it, and then ultimately as you were in college, seeing that opportunity and then just developing it further as you got out. That's so cool.
Well, it's funny. Actually, I wanted to get a job when I graduated college in finance, and I was trying to get a job on Wall Street for about a month and didn't get what I was looking for. So I just came home and started my eBay business. So I kind of fell into it.
Wow. So, and so that was what year was that?
2006.
So that's like, I'm thinking back in time. That's early e-commerce kind of time frame though, really, because eBay was one of the early ones, obviously.
Yeah, they've been around for a little while, but not everyone knew about e-commerce back then. No one was running Shopify stores and whatnot.
Yeah. Shopify was a dream to be at that point, but that's cool.
There wasn't much competition. There weren't many Apple trading sites. We were one of the very few out there that were trusted at the time.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool. So what have you seen? I mean, so this kind of changes things a little bit, and we'll talk about this part of your business a little bit later, because I do want to talk about some of the other stuff that you do. And it's cool to hear your background and where we're at today with your business. But let's talk a little bit about some of your hobbies. You're a wine sommelier. So tell me what it takes.
I love wine.
All right.
I've been passionate about wine my whole life and decided I should learn more and, get a certification, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I'm a level 1 sommelier in the Court of Master Sommeliers. So basically you need to learn a lot about it and you go take a test. They give the test, once a month in a different state. So I waited till it came to Cincinnati and I studied for about 3 months and I passed the test.
Wow.
It's pretty funny. I was in a room of all these people, from these super fine dining restaurants, and some of them know me. And they're like, "Why are you here? You're the computer guy."
Yeah, because I like it. So what did that teach you about wine, studying for that you'd never really understood before that? Because you liked wine before that, obviously. But what do you think the things that it taught you?
I think a lot of it's using the right words to describe it, and it helps with the enjoyment of it. When you can run through your head and really think about the wine at a deeper level, the different characteristics of it and stuff like that, you actually can remember it better. So when you go to look for wine in the future, you can speak to it, when you're at a restaurant or at a wine store, you can tell them exactly what you're looking for any certain type of wine. And I find that very helpful because most of those people are extremely knowledgeable as well. And they can usually give you good feedback on something that you'll also enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I mean, I enjoy wine, but I could not explain why I enjoy it. And I think that's a really cool thing that you learned is how to explain specifically why you enjoy this particular wine.
So, I have a good tip for you then. One of my friends on LinkedIn, Nicholas, he launched a business called the Palate Club, and you can blind taste his wines. And from there, you rate them on his app, and their algorithm will tell you what wines you'll enjoy. And if you don't like the wines, they're simply free. So they guarantee you like the wine. So
what's Nicholas's last name so I can write that down?
It's really hard to say. I'm happy to send it to you. And
good. There we go. Yeah. So I understand hard to say. I understand hard to say. With Pastolka as a last name, it's been mispronounced a few times. So
I don't want to say your name either. I mean,
yeah. So that's awesome.
People call you Damon P. No.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, they do. They do. So that's awesome though, because I never thought about that as part of what you would learn going through that process. Because even my wife and I talking about wines, she talks about them, and I kind of understand, but I really don't understand. But I know what I like. So
I mean, you're in the same camp as most people. I think the average person just says, I really enjoy wine that's fruity and red, or dry rosé, and terms like that. But once you can describe it deeper, you'll find more enjoyment out of it too. and it really helps at dinner parties.
Oh, no doubt.
You have a wine dinner party. It's fun to be a little knowledgeable and give a little history.
Exactly. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, that was kind of a side note, because I saw that. I was like, what's it take to do it, and what do you really learn from it? But that's interesting to know, and I'm sure a lot of people appreciate understanding that, because it is at least a hobby for a lot of people, and a passion. I mean, I'm fortunate living in the Pacific Northwest. We've got the Willamette Valley, and we've got now they're moving out.
So many good Oregon wines up there, and the Washington wines are amazing.
Yeah. Yep. And, we go to Walla Walla once in a while and go down in, and I've actually had clients that were winemakers. So it's close to what I do, obviously.
Have you had the K Syrah from Walla Walla?
Yes, I have.
So good.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, and
I know you want to get in some of the charitable stuff I'm doing later. And I also wanted to mention, I do charitable wine tastings.
There we go.
I started a business called Party Som, so I can help people, pair wines for their dinner parties and their events. But I'm also very passionate about doing some of these charitable events.
Nice.
And fortunately, none during COVID. But before that, did a few, and you can raise a lot of money and have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, so that's awesome. So if people want to talk to you about charitable wine tasting in the Cincinnati area, that we just need to make sure to bring that up here so they can talk to you.
There you go. I'll do virtual wine tastings too.
Oh, there you go. You can do that virtual as well. Oh yeah, I never that. You could do it just easy that way too.
Awesome. We can have a glass of wine right now.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, awesome. So that's great to know. And when we were talking about this, and I was researching more, you did a TEDx talk earlier this year, correct?
Yeah, it was the end of last year down in Atlanta.
The end of last year you did it. So tell me a little bit about the TEDx process and why you wanted to do a TEDx talk.
Well, the process was I have absolutely loved TED Talks my entire life. So I've been very intrigued by the amount of knowledge that these people share. And I actually made it a goal of mine to do a TEDx talk at the beginning of the year. And I thought the best topic would be around gifting Apple computers. Okay. So I kind of put the vibe out there to some people I knew. And through some connections, I was able to get an opportunity to audition for a couple different cities. The Cincinnati one I did not get selected for, but I made it to the Atlanta one. So that was super cool. And man, the amount of prep I did before a TEDx talk, it was the most nerve-wracking experience of my entire life.
Really?
I did no prep to talk to you today. I can go on any podcast and just have at it. But this TED talk was another level. So practice for weeks. And, delivered a very passionate talk on stage down there to a very small audience due to COVID. Yeah. But it was really fun. I would definitely do it again. And I wanted to get my message out there to the world. And I felt that the TED platform really legitimized it, because it is so hard to be a TED or a TEDx speaker. Yeah. That would, then allow me to share that with people that would, respect what I was doing and, see it as a real thing.
Yeah. So I didn't write down the number of views, but if I remember right, you got a fair amount of views on it. So hopefully that at least on YouTube anyway.
Starting to spread the message on there. I can get more views than a LinkedIn post though.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of the way it is, but so you're gifting computers. I think this is a cool way that, and if people haven't listened to your TED Talks, go on YouTube, look up Brian Burke, TEDx, and you will listen. You will hear what I'm saying. It's very passionate. I'm going to probably choke up just talking about it. I feel like I was
shouting with passion that thing. I mean, I was.
Well, you were. And
I know.
If there's one thing,
the two things we do to gift Macs, you either can send Macs directly to us and we'll gift them, or you can just use our promo code Trading for a Purpose, and we'll add $20 to the pool of funds we use to gift Macs. So that's a really easy way that you can trade in your Mac and get paid and do good all at the same time. That's what we call it, Trading for a Purpose.
So if people wanted to just send their Mac to you to gift, they can do that, and if they want to donate, they can do that. And you've got it set up online so you can do that real easy.
Yeah, I just want to make sure easy for them.
I'm going to make sure everybody's clear. So go to sellyourmac.com, donate your Mac products, your Apple products, your old iPhones, that's still, all that
I'd
stuff.
love to help.
You want to give it away, then do it at sellyourmac.com. And there's an easy way to donate your products there, and it will be given to someone that can use them, because listening to your TED talk, and this is where it really is going to hit me, but I'll try to get through it. You take these products and you give them to kids that are underserved kids that need these, that probably don't have a computer, probably don't think they're going to get a computer. And
it's their first device.
Yeah. That's so cool, because when we're sitting here today, you and I are talking, we've got wonderful computer products around us, and we're blessed. There's a lot of kids that aren't, and there's a lot of families that aren't. And those are the kind of people that by what you're doing, that piece of technology, that device is something that can make the difference. It can literally make the difference to open the internet up.
That's the story. That one device to change the world. You never know what someone's going to do with it. They can become, future robotics, astronaut launching these people to the stars. They could be creating a new company. Be a LinkedIn influencer. You don't know until you have the products to help you get there.
Yeah. It gets me, man, because this is really literally something that opens the world up to them, and it might give them that spark to think, I can do whatever I want to do, because they can, and give them those opportunities and putting that in their hands. To that seed.
A lot of these kids really do need that spark to get ignited. One of the charities that I'm on the board of, called Adopt a Class here in Cincinnati, we talk about giving these kids the spark to ignite them, and it's showing them different ways of business. It's like a group business mentoring we do with students. And a lot of times they don't even understand that you can have all these different careers. So they don't see it. They only see what's going on in their neighborhood, which isn't good. Yeah. And, they think the next thing to do is to be a drug dealer or an NBA star. And, fortunately, neither one's going to work.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I just wanted to say a quick shout out to Sam Gupta. Hey, Sam, how's it going today?
Hey, Sam.
Glad that you're on today, and appreciate you listening. If anyone else is listening too that wants to drop their where they're listening from in the comments, drop something for Brian.
Give us a shout out,
or just go right to sellyourmac.com and ship them your Apple products so he can give it away. You're going to listen to more about how he's giving this away and making a difference in kids' lives. We want to make sure that we get that out to as many people as we can, because, dude, it is cool as hell. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to use kind of bad language in it, but it is cool what you're doing, because I can't tell you, man, because I think about myself, and I didn't grow up in a horrible environment nearly. I was blessed in a lot of ways. I didn't have a family. I grew up on a farm in the Midwest, and my family did not know much about business. They knew about farming, right? And I look at that in my career and how much people are different that grew up in business and then went into business, comparatively having that early influence of it for these kids, and having that technology early is so critical. Because if you look at the kids,
you miss them, then it's too late, kind of.
Yeah, because you gotta
get in their hands early enough.
Yeah, because if you're too old, because I look at my nephews and stuff that are, they're 10, 12 years old, and they've had an iPad in their hand forever. They know technology.
Age 4, yeah.
yeah, they know technology. They know how to getting on the internet, finding the YouTube videos, or learning about stuff online and what they can do. Build, just from a simple standpoint of a kid being able to do one of those.
Go on YouTube and Google.
Yeah, just research stuff for a school project. It's man, it's phenomenal. So
I love hearing the stories about these kids and how they're putting them to use, and just hearing how some of these people had to go to the library and read a paper before and stuff like that, and how trying that is on them. You can't do as good of a work because it's almost too much effort to spend enough time there.
Yeah.
So I guess really is the tools help unlock their capabilities.
Well, yeah, you're right, because I never even really thought about that aspect of it though, too, because now if they don't have the device, they still need to write the papers. They still have to go to the
Yeah.
library to do it, or stay after school and do it there. So
And
it's
if you live in the Midwest or Northeast and it's snowing, no
yeah,
good.
yeah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Well, I
Where'd
think
you grow
too
up in the
that
Midwest?
South Dakota. South
Oh,
Dakota.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
still
I was
Midwest? Oh, wow.
yeah. Yeah, I grew up. So people think they grew up in the country. I grew up 60 miles from the nearest Walmart. So that's how far in the country I was.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
That's pretty
but you know,
serious.
there's a lot of things that were good about it too, but
Well, you
this,
learned hard work, right? Growing up on a farm. I mean, there's no slacking off. It's every day at 4 a.m., right?
yeah, not that early, but it was good. It was good from that standpoint. It was good. There are a lot of different things. So what you've been in business a while now, you got 12 years, 13 years now with your business, close to 14. What really have you learned over time that's been kind of this consistent thing through business? It's like, if I focus on this, it will drive success in the long run.
For me, it's passion and perseverance. There's been so many times that I have hit a wall mentally or physically. If I wasn't passionate, it'd be so hard to push through. And having that perseverance to fight in the worst of times, when you think you're going to go bankrupt, or you have a huge legal issue, or some employee burns you. I mean, there's just been crazy times. I mean, we got hit with a $250,000 fraud one time, and I had to battle back with, no money. It was the first 3-4 years of my business. That is everything that I made, and I lost it all overnight.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have the passion, I mean, I probably would just have folded. Obviously I had, friends and family help, rally behind me to, keep me going. But it's that mindset that, keeps you at the top of your game every day and lets you kind of work around the clock. I don't work quite the hours I used to anymore, but I used to be 14 to 16 hour days for like 6-7 years. And that it is hard work is the key to success. There isn't, these 1 hour people that say that you can work, 4-hour weeks. I mean, there's businesses, it's possible to do that, but that's not normal. So it's a grind. And if you don't have the battery in you to keep it going, probably going to fail ultimately. So that's how we've been able to stay around so long.
That's awesome, because you hit two things, and it was not rehearsed. The passion and perseverance. I talk about those two things a lot in my posts and in my own life. I think that because it is, when you look about it, I always think that if you're going to do something as an entrepreneur, you better be passionate, because it's going to take like you said, it's going to take a grind. It's going to take you getting out of bed when you feel like there's no damn way I want to get out of bed.
Or not going to bed.
Or not going to bed. There you go.
4 a.m.
Because I got to get this done. And you just got to persevere when you're getting kicked in the teeth, like you talked about it. And because you know what you're doing is right, and you know what you're doing is your calling and what you should be doing. And
exactly.
I think that is great advice, and I hope people listening take that in deep, because so many times we see people that I'm going to go out and be an entrepreneur, or in our culture now,
it's not for everyone. If you're not passionate, don't have the bandwidth, it's not going to be good in the end.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
That I'm glad you said that, because it's not for everyone. And even when we see some startup companies and we see other people, and you look about the angel community where they're getting funded by investors or VC backed firms. And I do get to talk to a fair amount of those people, and some of those people drastically underestimate the effort it's going to be, even with money. And that's the thing, is
it's even harder when you have the money. Then now you got to make it happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like bootstrapping. You bootstrapped your company, I'm sure, and when you're bootstrapping, it's your money. But when you add an investor's money into it, you add another level of complexity, because they're essentially riding on you to make sure that to hopefully grow their investment, and it adds to the pressure of that. So, yeah.
I have no outside investors, but my leadership team and my board of advisors helps push me. But yeah, definitely the internal drive is what's needed.
Yeah, that's for sure. And that's good. So when you see the Apple products, now this is, so you've been in 2008, what was the cool Apple product in 2008?
The iPhone 1, it just launched. Right,
oh my goodness.
Right over here.
Yeah. So the iPhone 1. I mean, wow. Now, did the iPhone 1?
It's hard to believe that was 12 years ago.
Well, I know, because I use the iPhone as an example I do talks on the changing demographics of buyers in manufacturing, because the fallacy by many manufacturing executives, people that got the gray hair like I do, they think that they need their salespeople out on the road and selling like that and out and meeting people. But one of the things that a lot of them forget is that the buyers today grew up with that iPhone in their hand, and they don't want to do like the buyers of my day when I was selling and out in the field doing that, where they couldn't find you. You had to call them and try to solve their problems that way and go meet with them. Now the whole
they want to text.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, yeah, that's even weirder, right? That's still, I text for business to me is still, and it shows my age, is still kind of like, well, I do it, but the
in my field, everyone wants to WhatsApp, and I don't really WhatsApp, but it seems like everyone's going that direction in the IT business.
You're right. And then it's just, there's a lot of other things, and that is what I think we really as humans need to understand is, when you were talking about from in 2008, that person today, if they were 16 years old, is 30 years old now or close to it. That person is a decision maker in a lot of companies now. They're not the entry level person anymore. They're decision makers. And that person is, as you mentioned, they're used to the iPhone. They're used to information at their fingertips, and being able to move much farther down the buying process than the generation before, where they're used to more of the sellers come to them, not they go to the sellers. And it's amazing how that iPhone,
I think COVID's helped kind of push everyone in that direction.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't have that.
It really has.
You kind of had to pivot or fail.
Yeah. And you starting off in eBay like you did, you bypass that for the vast majority of what you do, because it's, the e-commerce platform, and starting that early, and the type of products you sell, that's a great way to do that. So
it's crazy. We're still on eBay. It's still working, but we have our own store now too. We also sell on renewedmax.com.
Okay. That's awesome then. Because that's one of the things that we see in a lot of e-commerce clients is kind of their maturation journey. Is they'll start out on a platform. They can be on Amazon or Walmart or wherever it is. There's so many platforms now, but they eventually, when you can move back to your own website and control a portion of your own loyal customers, you start to drive that brand recognition, that brand loyalty, and you can build that community. That's where you can, those are more valuable for the long run for you. The other ones are great. They're great customers.
I like controlling the customer experience as much as we can. So
yeah, exactly. So that's cool that you're doing that. And so now we're moving into, so where do you think, we're sitting here now. I've got what's this? It's an 11 something with the 3 cameras on it, but, oh yeah, there you go. So what do you think is new?
You're still on the 11?
I
mean, what are you doing, Damon? We gotta get you on the 12.
Yeah, I'm old. I don't care. I mean, mine does, but I upgraded from Android. I told you this when we got on, man. I was an Android.
All right, then you're fine. Keep the 11. You're good.
Yeah. See, this is my first step into it. So, but honestly, I came from more of an IT techie background, and a lot of the stuff that we had to do, and some apps were not actually available on the Apple when I was back and doing a lot of that stuff, and I just stayed with the Android. But really, the reason I switched to Apple is because my parents, I wanted to video call with my parents during COVID.
Oh, yeah.
They couldn't figure it out.
It's so much easier on an iPhone.
Exactly. So I basically threw my Android in the drawer, went and bought an iPhone, and now we're, FaceTiming on my mom's tablet and an iPad, and away we go. And that's what I think. If Apple has done one thing right, they make the connectivity so much easier.
It's easy for everyone to use. I mean, the little kids, the grandparents, it really doesn't matter. I mean, I don't think I can give my kid an Android phone and tell them how to call someone. I can give my 2-year-old an iPad and she can call her grandpa.
Good point. You are correct there.
It's pretty fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think has been one of the coolest things that you, by being so close to that technology, what do you think one of the coolest things is about what you do?
What am I enjoying most about the Apple products?
Yeah.
Is that your question?
Yeah. About just being that close to that technology all the time and seeing it.
I think for me is being able to use it. I mean, I am on my phone all the time. So I'm also taking photos all the time. I love taking photos of my family, food, wine, whatever it is, and being able to capture all those memories on the latest devices is really important to me. So, I'm very fortunate that I can upgrade, every product cycle because that's part of my business. Yeah. But by staying on that forefront of the technology, my devices are, as fast as possible, and also, taking the best photos, which I care more about than almost anything else. Yeah. So that's always been fun for me. I got 80,000 photos on my phone, I think.
Yeah, my wife. It's so funny you're talking about that because my wife and I were talking about it last night, and she goes, "Wow, you've only got I don't even know what the number was that I've got on mine," and she was in the thousands, So I think that is one of the things that's really cool. I'm just looking real quick.
You don't take a lot of pictures then?
I do. I take what I think is a lot of pictures, and people look at me because they think I'm funny, but I started on Google Maps many years ago, taking pictures of places that I'm at and uploading them on Google Maps. And for whatever reason, it is. And I've got like 20 plus million views of my photos on Google Maps, which I don't know if it's a lot or not, but it just keeps building over time. And I could do it kind of like fun. So I do take a lot of pictures, but not as lot.
Google reviews. Is that how you do it?
Oh yeah, I do Google reviews, but on Google you can just upload pictures too.
Okay.
Because it's geotagged, right? Everything's geotagged, or you have to adjust a little bit. You put in where you're at, and and it's really fun.
Google knows where you are.
Yeah, it knows all the time. And people talk about turning that stuff off. I'm like, even if you turn it off, it doesn't do you any good. So
I don't think it matters.
Yeah. So we got. I had to look on my other thing, but Denrick is on here. Thanks, Denrick, for weighing in here. Thanks so much for that. Appreciate your feedback, and
thanks for saying it's awesome.
Yeah. Thanks so much. But I think that the iPhone, when you think about what it did to bring in, just as you said, the camera into your hand, the video camera, the still shots, and you think about how that has changed the amount of pictures we take, the type of pictures we take.
Oh, I can't imagine trying to edit photos after I got them on a camera roll from 20 years ago. I mean, that's unheard of. Yeah. And now I edit my pictures in 3 seconds to make them look amazing. So it's really fun. You couldn't geotag on a Polaroid.
No. Well, and I'm just thinking about normal everyday situations. Like you've got younger children, and if your younger children are sitting there doing something cute, the first thing you do is pull your phone out, snap a picture of it, because you want to remember that, right? And years ago, even when it was digital cameras, that camera was someplace else, and you didn't have that opportunity. And it's
just these girls today. I'm getting my little kids, one's fixing the other one's hair.
See, it's like that. And then you look at the ease that Apple made that for people to upload to the cloud and save those and share those photos across all your Apple devices. You got to commend them for it, whether you like the Apple ecosystem or not, because they changed the way we look at documenting our lives. And
really do.
It really is something. It really is something. So,
if I had to pay to develop my 70,000 to 80,000 photos, I'm not sure what that would cost. It would not be fun.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. So it's It's just been incredible getting to know you a little bit better, Brian. And if there's, I want to let you kind of explain to people if there's one more point you could leave with them before we finish up, about your philanthropic or how they can help like that, or Apple or anything. I just like you to share your thoughts there.
Well, from a business side, I would love to help everyone, buy and sell their Apple products. So definitely check us out at sellyourmac.com. And you can use my personal promo code MacMan. That'll give you a bonus if you're selling or a discount if you're buying.
Nice.
And I want everyone to follow their passion. So find your passion, focus on doing that. It'll make you much happier in life, and you'll be way more successful when you've truly found your passion.
Oh man, that's awesome. And I just want to go back in this one more time before we get off. Go to sellyourmac.com. You can donate your Apple products so that Brian can gift them to a deserving young person to help them get a better start in life. And man, if you can do that, I just want to say, sellyourmac.com, donate your Apple products so Brian can get them ready to go and give them to deserving young people.
Underserved kids have a better life, and I think this is one of the best ways that we can do it. So I really appreciate all the support. It means a lot.
Yeah, because I just think it's an awesome cause, dude, and I'm so glad that we could talk about this a little bit more.
We're gonna donate at Mac tomorrow.
Awesome.
Michael Ray from LinkedIn's coming to Cincinnati, and we're gonna make some kid have an amazing day.
Awesome. And another thing I saw, and I hate to digress, but recently, your trademark is the blue jacket and the blue bow tie.
I can't help it. I'm all blue, head to toe, baby.
Yep. And I think you actually put a jacket up for auction here, if I remember. You auctioning one off for charity. So that's if people
I raised $500 by giving away one of my blue suits.
Awesome.
I had 5. I figured I only need 4. We'll be okay.
Exactly.
I was taking them out to lots of trade shows. This is a perfect time to donate one and raise some money.
Yes, that's so awesome. I'm glad I remembered that, and we could
Thanks
talk
for following
about
that.
But I mean, it
fun.
is. Yeah. Oh, no doubt. It's fun. It's fun. And I can see your passion for helping people. And again, if you haven't seen Brian's TEDx talk, get on YouTube, Brian Burke TEDx. It'll come up. You'll notice the blue jacket. Listen to it. You will get inspired.
Miss me in a blue bow tie.
Yeah, you can't. And the passion behind your speech there is incredible. Thank you so much for being here today, Brian.
Thank you, Damon.
You are helping. Yeah, I'm just gushing because I'm so happy that I could have you on, and you're helping kids in ways that makes a difference.
Well, thank you for highlighting that, because I know we're going to get at least a few more trainings that we can donate just from this talk and podcast. So that makes me very happy.
Yes. If I could get one, it'll be freaking a good day for me.
Let's do one. Change some kids' life.
You bet. Well, everybody, thanks so much. Thanks, Brian, for being here. We will have Brian's contact information in the comments on the show notes on YouTube, on our blog, every place else on the podcast. Also, don't forget to donate your Apple products at sellyourmac.com, and Brian will refurbish them and give them to a deserving young person that will use them. You can help to make their lives better. So thanks again.
Can't wait to help.
You bet, everybody. This is Damon Pasolka with the Faces of Business. We will talk soon. Oh, I got to highlight this one last thing. Brian is an amazing human. I can't see who it is, but I'm sure it's someone we know. Thanks so much for the comment. You bet. And we're going to be out until Thursday of this week. Thank you.